Hey guys, it's Tara here with American Country Essentials. Today I'm so excited because we have new members of our ranch. Right here we have our ducklings, and in a brood box over there are our turkey poults. I'm really excited. This is a new adventure for us. We decided to get ducks and turkeys for meat as well as eggs. Today I am going to teach you how to prepare for ducklings and turkey poults. So the first thing you want to do is set up an area for them. Right now we're in our mudroom. People sometimes put them in their garage. I've heard that ducklings can be in the bathtub. Our mudroom is attached to our house, so it's close enough that I can come in and out several times a day. You want to get some sort of container. We just bought storage containers. I bought a bigger one for the ducklings because I actually ordered 14 of them. I ordered 12 ducks, which are females, and 2 drakes, which are males. Unfortunately, I had 6 that died, but the great thing about the company that I ordered from is they have 100% guarantee, so they're replacing them at no additional charge, and they'll be arriving next week. I'll link their information below this video. So we have their container. You want to make sure it's tall enough. They will grow really quick, so you want to make sure that it can accommodate for their size, their growth. The most important thing is a brood lamp, a heat lamp. When you first get ducklings, they require for their brood box to be anywhere between 90 and 95 degrees. Turkeys require for their brood box to be anywhere between 95 and 100 degrees. That's one of the reasons that I decided to separate the two right now, even though they will grow up together. Ducklings obviously like water, and they splash around, whereas turkeys can get hypothermia really easily. And then also the turkeys do require for it to be about 5 to 10 degrees hotter than the ducklings do. So I just thought it would be safer to keep them separated right now, and then once they're fully feathered, we'll start integrating them. For the bedding, I use straw because I live on a ranch and I have plenty of access to straw, so I use what I have. You just want to make sure you don't use something slippery like newspaper, and something that's absorbent because there's a lot of them in there and they do pee and poop a lot. So you want to try and make sure that cleanup is as easy as possible for you. So you put the brood lamp up on your container. You want to make sure you heat it up before you even get the ducklings to make sure that it's at temperature. You don't want to get your ducklings or your turkey poults and then heat it up once they get in there because they will be cold. These guys came from California. I'm not sure what state the turkeys came from, but it's not Colorado. So they traveled for a couple of days. So they're cold, they're tired, they're hungry, and they need water. The second thing is a source of water. For the ducklings, I got a gallon-sized container and cut a hole in the side of it, and filled it with water. For ducklings, it's really important for them to be able to dip their entire beak into it. And then also the hole is big enough for them to get into it if they want to, and then get out safely. And then the water is shallow enough that where they won't drown. Because these guys were hatched in a hatchery, in an incubator, they don't have the oils to keep them waterproof as well as to help them swim, so they can drown really easily. So any water that you have to make sure that they can't drown in it. For the turkeys, we have just a regular chicken waterer. They don't really get into it. They did kind of dip their wings in it when we first got them. We've had them for about 3 days before we got these guys, but they're safe around it. That you don't really have to worry about them drowning. They don't really like to get wet, so they don't really go into it too much, but they do need plenty of water. And the last thing for both the turkeys as well as the ducklings is you need food for them. You can get any kind of poultry feed, just make sure it's not medicated for both of them. And then also they require more niacin, so they require more protein. So brewer's yeast works really well. I'll link below which brewer's yeast I decided to go with. You can get it on Amazon, so it was really easy and it was pretty inexpensive. For the ducklings, they require grit right away. Whereas the turkeys, they can't have grit for about 3 weeks. So you want to make sure all of that is set up before even you get your ducklings or your turkeys. Once the ducklings and the turkeys arrive, the first thing that you want to do is make sure that you dip their beaks into, and for the ducks, their bills, into the water. They have to know where their water source is right away. So you just kind of grab their heads and dip them in and show them where their feed is. And then just kind of leave them alone. I have a pretty strict rule. I did raise chickens. And I have a pretty strict rule with them that I don't handle them for a couple of days. I want them to get strong. They're scared. Even the turkeys I'm starting to now handle because like I said, they have been here for a few days. One of the most important things is to make sure that you're home on the day that they get here. Not only so they don't sit at your post office all day, but also to make sure that you're constantly coming in and out. Like I said, the water containers have little holes on the side of them, and I've already seen some of them go in and out, so you want to make sure that they're able to get out and that it's safe for them. So at about 3 to 5 weeks, depending on the weather outside, I'll start introducing them to the outside elements because eventually they will move out there. Mine won't let me keep them inside. It's a misconception that ducks actually need a body of water. They like water, and if you give them water, they'll love it. But when they're young, you really want to make sure you supervise them. If you get like a little plastic pool or a bowl or something for them to play in, you really want to make sure that you're watching them and, like I said, avoid any kind of drowning incidents. So the ducks will be fully feathered at about 7 to 9 weeks, and as long as the weather's okay, that's probably when we'll move them outside full time. It will just kind of play by ear. Our weather's kind of been a little bit unpredictable. We've had really late snowstorms. It was actually snowing this morning at the end of April, so we're just going to kind of base it based on our weather. The turkeys will be fully feathered at about the same time as well. So again, depending on the weather, they will be moving outside as well. When we're able to start getting them to go outside, that's when we'll kind of introduce the turkeys and the ducklings together. The breeds that we decided to get for the turkeys, we decided to get the bronze broad-breasted as well as the white broad-breasted. Say that 10 times fast. And then for the ducklings, I got the golden 300. The biggest difference that I've noticed already with the turkeys and the ducklings is the ducklings are significantly messier. They splash water everywhere. I put the water containers on one of my trays just to separate it and to make sure that the bedding doesn't get too wet. And I keep the feed relatively close to the heat lamp because they do like mixing their water and their feed. And so that kind of helps dry it out. So just to not make like a mush. For the turkeys, they're relatively clean. I will clean both brood boxes once a day. The ducklings might require a little bit more. Over the next few weeks, every week we will start lowering the temperature about 5 to 7 degrees in both containers until the temperature inside the brood box matches the outside temperature, and that's kind of when we'll be able to judge if we're able to bring them outside or not. So thank you so much for watching and learning how to prepare for getting baby turkeys as well as baby ducks. Stay tuned, these guys are going to grow fast. We have baby goats coming, and I'll keep you updated on everything else that's going on here at the ranch. Thank you so much. You guys look like old men. Today I'm going to teach you how to prepare for baby ducklings and the breeds that we decided to get for the turkeys. We decided to get the bronze broad-breasted and the white bronze-breasted. Oh my gosh. Who wants to be on camera? Oh my, okay, you know. They're really lively though, so that's good. Oh shit. Shoot. If you like this video and want to see more, please subscribe to my channel and like and share this video. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook as well. For homemade products made at this ranch, visit AmericanCountryEssentials.com, which is linked below.